So there are a number of things. I have a sort of model in my head of how how organizations can put practices into place, and they go around courage, grace, humility, and learning. But the whole thing starts with basic dialogue. These things that we've learned over and over again. So saying things like I statements, I feel, and putting that emotion out there, taking ownership of that for yourself, and not necessarily putting blame on somebody else, assuming that they have the best the best intentions. That's these are some of the practices. Going in and saying, admitting that I feel this way, and it's because I have this assumption. That sort of starting there, and then going into those basic listening skills. I'm going to confirm what you say. I'm going to reflect what you say. I'm going to think about it, take it in and pause, and then I'm going to respond. But along with that, you've got to build. So underneath, you get into some deeper things where you have to have courage to act. You have to give them, like Sarah said, you have to provide this container, right? So the practices you want to put into place within that container, let people know, take the courage to act. But a big part of that is that, Jeremy, like you're talking about, that trust and safety, where the person receiving that courageous statement or action needs to accept it gracefully. And what that means is not automatically shooting back to this person some angry response or something like that. I like to say, feel the emotion, don't be the emotion. So state it. I'm angry, and I'm angry because of this. But that doesn't mean you have to yell or stomp your feet or anything like that. And then once you get that response, you give it in a graceful manner, thinking about taking a compassionate approach and thinking about, who is this person? You've seen their TKI, and you know that they're a competing person, passive person, whatever. Giving them a response that works for them. And then that humility. So you're responding or you're taking it in. Have some humility and be open to the idea of, I might need to change. I want to take these communications and really think about, do I need to change? If I change, how does this work? And then the last piece of that, I think that the last practice is integration. So building that learning. Sarah, I think you talked about sort of a learning organization, or being open to learning. So maybe this whole discussion we just had, how do I take that and then operationalize it, put it into action? And if you disagree with it, that's fine, but be courageous and start the circle again. I disagree with this, and be willing to say that. When people are willing to say I heard from somebody recently, I wrote this down. What is it? When they care enough to say the very worst. When somebody cares enough to say the very worst, then you know that whatever they're telling you is the truth. That's where that trust and safety is going to come from. So the practice I have is speak courageously, receive it gracefully, be humble and open to what the response is, and lastly, be willing to learn, maybe modify or adapt.